So in terms of the implementation, something that can be done is like a web app where a user types in maybe a card name or a card set, and that gets transformed into a query for the API. And once the JSON for that request is obtained, it will go through the same pre-processing steps as the BERT WS, and the model will then predict a single card or a batch of cards. Um, just separate from the test, I decided to test the price of cards that haven't been seen by BERT. One such card is Pot of Greed because this card is in the banned section, so BERT never got an opportunity to see this. As you can see, in this red cluster here, it's able to predict very well. Um, I believe after maybe $15, it's a high-end card already, so it's not really doesn't really need to predict spot on, but it got the approximate range. There's a few underestimations here, but here is where you have a bit of overestimation. So we'll just investigate that. As you can see from those two overestimations comes from this Pot of Greed here from Magic Ruler and this one from Legend of Blue Eyes. So you can see that even though all these attributes are the same, the prices, the prediction, or like the actual price is like way different. This and same for here. This can be explained by the fact that one of them, the cheaper one, is most likely the unlimited print, and the $28 one is the first edition print, which generally goes for more money in the collector's market. So that's probably why. Legend of Blue Eyes is much more expensive just because this is probably the first set of Yu-Gi-Oh that was officially printed, so it's got collector value there. So that's the one weakness of this model is doesn't really translate the collectability value. It's more just power in the game. Um, Another test that I tried running was to test a core set called Phantom Nightmare. And the thing about core sets is that when Konami releases one, it's all cards that are seeing their first time being printed. So this is also guaranteed to have never been seen by the model, since this is also like a much newer set as well. Um, so uh, just a little investigation to into some one of the over and underestimated cards would be this Mutamorphosis. So an example of overestimation. Um, we can see that the predicted price of this card is $14, but the actual value is only $1.38. So when I checked the website TCG Player for the price of this card, this is one listing. So it probably gets the first listing and puts it there because there's another listing that has it at $10, which is like close to the predicted value. So why was this card rated so high? We can see that what it generally does is it tributes a monster and it special summons another monster from the deck. So I believe that if we look at why this may be good, if you tribute a monster, you could be trying to trigger its effect when it's removed from the field, and when you summon a monster from the deck, you could be trying to trigger something that happens when you summon it. So playing this card and then tributing would be to summon a new card. You go -1, but then you go +1 from the trigger, and then plus another one from the summon. So that's overall +1. The next example is something that my model underestimated the value of. So Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. Um, if we read through the effect, so not regarding the materials needed, it's very hard to get rid of. And other than that, it's more battle centric, which tends to be valued lower in the card market. The main power of this card comes from its fusion materials, where it uses Yubel, so a specific card, plus one or more effect monsters on the field. So this is very powerful because when used with a card like Super Polymerization, which basically is a unrespondable summon, and you can use material from either field, uh, this becomes, in combo with this, a board breaker. So you can pay the cost for Super Poly, use your own UBell, go -3 to make your opponent go -5, which is what, a +2 as well. So, in conclusion, throughout this project, various BERT combinations of BERT models were developed, and with the final model, that's being an ensemble M1, performing the best. I believe with the completion of this research, the implications could be that there will be a broader use of NLP for sentiment analysis tasks, not particularly ones that deal with human sentiment, but with domain-specific sentiment. I also wish to be able to push the amount of pre-processing and care that goes into NLP tasks because I believe that there's much potential to be seen and like better ways of creating models that are more generalizable. Thank you for listening.